Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
Griff,
Bucket.
did you almost say somebody else's name?
I almost completely fumbled that. For some reason, the words, it almost became word salad there
You
at the end.
know, it's
Uh,
Dad's day here at the end of the day,
Yeah.
so got a little bit of a dad brain going on, probably.
yeah,
You know,
Word
it
I have
salad
no
brain.
idea. I forced the right words out, but I almost stumbled. It felt like I was about to fall in word form.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like
gotta-
Optimus behind you too. I just thought that.
Yeah, Optimus is over there, and Acrid is hanging out behind me. Also with the kid's gaming chair back there too,
Yeah.
and his little dance thing right there.
That's funny.
All right. So what we wanted to do last week was talk about all of the Game Fest and gaming show news and trailers and all, but that didn't happen. So that's what we're gonna do this week instead. Hello,
Which
we're
is
a week
fine. We
late.
didn't have Baka. We didn't have Baka last week. It's gonna
I
be
know.
so much better this time.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I talked about, so it's all good.
Last week was
We slept a few days since then, so we're all right. We're fine.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
new week, new shit show. Less messy, and I get that reference. I
New
get
week,
the
who
reference.
dis? Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
where?
I should tell Oak about that later.
Yeah,
Later,
fun.
not right now. All right. So where do we want to start on
We'll
all of
start
this stuff?
with the state of the play because it was first
Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
go
It was
over
on-
here.
Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. It was on the
I believe that's
third.
correct.
Yeah, it was on the third. I have to go back there. They showed off Silent Hill F, which was nice, looking good, very interesting. Very.
I love that
Very
Silent Hill's
interesting
fandom is like,
style.
we want more games, and they gave us Silent Hill 2, and then all of these other ones, and they're like, these other ones are garbage. I don't know.
if
I
it's
think
gonna
it
be
looks
garbage.
interesting. Silent Hill F looks really interesting to me, but it definitely does have a different feel than the traditional Silent Hill. But I don't think that that's a problem. I'm not afraid of it. I
think
I
from
am, but
somebody
I'm
that
not.
doesn't play the Silent Hill games, looking at it obviously doesn't feel that way looking at the stuff, but it looks that way, if that makes sense. Like there's a certain, because of the angle of the camera and the different elements are there. And honestly, the bad guys that they show in it are creepy as fuck with the whole little
Yeah,
whatever that is.
Yeah. It looks really good, and as a Resident Evil fan that has been through a ton of different iterations throughout the series where they try something new, this is exactly what you need in order to revitalize a game style, because doing the same thing over and over again for years and years on end just kind of blands it out. So it's a good change from it. It's needed because they're not completely removing themselves from the classic style either. Also announced was that Bloober is working on another remake, which I think is the
original
first
Silent Hill.
the
Which
first
a lot of
one.
it's one of those things where it's like, oh look, a lot of Silent Hill fans are finally gonna get to play the first one, and I would be included in that. Like, that's me. That's me. I haven't played the first one, so I'm interested to see that too, especially since they did super well with 2, but
Yeah, 2 was so good, so good, so well done.
does that one have? Oh yeah, September. Okay, so September 25th is when Silent Hill F is coming out.
Which I think
We'll
is going to be
see.
pretty neat, but it is going to be a variation of the series. Excuse me. And I think people are going to have to be okay with that. Have to be okay with it being different, just like people were with Resident Evil 4. It was so different from 3 or 7 from 6. So different. You got to be okay with some change.
Yeah, I mean,
I know,
some
as we
didn't
get older,
include
we
any
get
boulder
grumpier.
punching, so
Hey, that's a sad thing to
What?
miss.
We
And I
get grumpier
guarantee.
as we get older? Lies.
that's true. It's true for me.
Look at that grumpy guy. Anyway, I guarantee when they
Shut up.
redo RE5, there will be a boulder punching scene. Guarantee it. Just like they faked out in the RE4 remake with the dog at the beginning, definitely.
They're gonna make you think you
Capcom.
don't have to.
Yeah, Capcom knows their audience, and they're like, okay, gotta meme on ourselves a little bit. It's fun.
No, well,
It makes us like the game.
Capcom
more.
does. Konami, not so much.
I think
Which
that
is why I
Silent
think
Hill F
Konami is just sitting away from it. Like they're just kind of sitting over on the side. The
Well,
big bosses.
I did read something earlier. There are rumors going around. They're thinking about dipping their toes into Castlevania again too. So
Well, we'll see. I mean, as long as it's done well.
I would. I don't know how feasible it would be, but if you could give me like a game like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but in 3D, like where you can move around the castle freely and have to get upgrades and kind of unlock the different parts, almost like Luigi's Mansion, where you have to go to the different rooms, find the keys to unlock the different rooms, and kind of
I want a Castlevania
open,
game based on Luigi's Mansion.
but open
I
up
mean, why
like
not?
that kind of style. I think you can do it.
The Belmonts sucking up skeletons instead of ghosts.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
But yeah, it would be nice for them to reopen that series again.
With the bringing it back to State of Play thing, that there was one called Romeo is a Dead Man, and that one I was like, okay, so it's a cartoony game, and then it turned into not that, and it's like Doom but more melee focused sometimes. I don't know. It's gonna be like, it says it's a graphic, so I'm
I
kind of
mean,
intrigued.
you have a demon eating someone's arm.
Yeah, I don't. That was part of the cartoon, so I don't know. Like what. I don't know what's actually happening aside from like
The art style is very interesting too. I'm interested to see more footage of that game
I know.
because it doesn't come out until 2026.
I mean, I don't
anyway,
have a
but-
PS5, and I'm probably not going to. So I'm kind of hoping that at some point it makes its way over to PC. But you know,
Some of their games are making their way over to PC, but I don't like in this
It
particular
does
case. It's
well
not a
enough,
first
yeah.
party either.
so we'll see. I thought that one looked. I thought it was neat because it tricks you. You're like, oh, a cartoon game again. Great, because that's a thing that we are seeing more and more of. And I wasn't mad about that, but then it swapped from that art style to the realistic stuff, and I was like, wait, is this the same? What just happened? So weird. I like weird, though. Sometimes. Most of the time. I watched the Pragmata one, too. I don't know what I think about that one. It is also kind of weird because there's a little AI girl, but I don't know if that one's my cup of tea.
It's got more footage now than it had before. I think it's kind of disappeared. I think it was announced like 3 or 4 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Well,
And showed up on stuff. So
it has neat hair physics because she has a lot of hair.
all about the hair physics.
Well, I mean, that's important to some people.
We got to see more of Baby Steps too, which just intrigues me. It's such an absurd game, and I want to play
It's
it so
QWOP.
Mm. Yeah, it's
for
just
a
another
console.
QWOP game. Yeah.
It's a 3D QWOP game.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were playing QWOP as like a meme years ago are finally devs themselves just making a 3D version of it.
Yes, I will say the one surprise that kind of caught me because I was watching. I was like, oh, this actually is pretty good, and it only got better as I watched the trailer. But the 007 game, First Light, I was like,
God.
wow. And then it popped up. I was like, oh wow, they're bringing back 007. All right, let's see how this goes. I think it's going to be pretty damn good from
I'm
from
okay
the
with
looks of
living in
it
a
so
world.
far.
I'm okay with living in a world that has good Indiana Jones games and good 007 games. I'm okay with that world.
Yeah. Like I think the Indiana Jones game found the balance between a cinematic storytelling game based on a movie and gameplay that can make you actually feel like you have to play it and be a part of the world instead of it just carrying you through it via the story.
I think you have a hole too, like with adventure games in general, with Uncharted not continuing a series of any kind whatsoever. When Uncharted ended, it was kind of like there's nothing really that's there. You haven't had a Tomb Raider in a really long time. The newest Tomb Raiders were pretty good, but it was like we need that whole field a little bit. So I'm very interested in the spy style adventure game for sure. Karen was neat too. It's like a mountain climbing game, but it's also reminds me of, I mean, it's like, okay, they had Baby Steps and then they had this one and they look very similar except one's climbing and walking. So I'm not really sure if that's how it works or not, but that's the way it looks. So, but the demo for it, you can get a demo for it now. I haven't played it yet. So I need to check it out and see, but the release on that game's in November. So I want to try that one out. But I'm excited too that they announced the Mortal Kombat collection, the
Yeah, a
Legacy
lot of
collection.
people were into
Yeah.
that one. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I haven't had enough caffeine today.
I just had my caffeine, so I'm good to go. They also showed off just a small little trailer for Ghost of Yotai. There's a wolf in it. Maybe your companion.
that'd be cool.
Okay, I
Maybe you
was
have a
like,
companion. I think that'd be very, very interesting. Also, because you have to evolve your games, having a companion like that to be able to help or be a part of your story would be very interesting. Because it's not like because this one is apparently you're taking vengeance, like you are vengeance upon what has happened in your part of Japan during this time. Um, so I could kind of see having a wolf companion as you go through this kind of isolated story with yourself, having somebody there to kind of be your anchor to tell the story with. So, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other characters and whatnot, but if you're out for vengeance, it's a kind of a solo story style with getting help from people. So I'm interested to see what that's supposed to be about. We're going to get a big gameplay dive in July,
Oh, that'd be
which I'm
nice.
interested to see because I assume it's going to play almost exactly like Ghost of Tsushima.
I would assume
but
so.
but I
I'm
would
sure
be
it'd be
interested
a
to see
little
if
bit
the
of a game.
wolf- Yeah, a little bit of a
Right.
gameplay variation.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
losing. Oak is having some weird things happen.
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know what's
happens.
happening.
There's a giant storm rolling through right now.
Well,
Oh.
it's over here on my side, so it could be
That
like
would
the.
explain it. I was
Yeah,
like,
a
wait,
little bit, a little bit of
I'm not
hiccup in
hearing
the.
anything, but he's moving really fast, and I don't know what's happening. But now he's good, so let's hope it stays
Yeah.
that way.
Sea of
Little bit of
Remnants
the-
looked also really good.
Which
But
one's
I'm
that
I'm
one?
interested. The one that one scares me. It's the pirate one
Why does it scare you?
because it is a RPG, but it's free to play.
Huh. So,
So-
how do they monetize it? Is what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what scares me. It's like, how are you going to do this, and how's this game going to be built? But the game's not out until 2026, so they got
Oh.
time to show me more material on it to see if I'm really interested in it. I like the art style; they look like wooden dolls, which is neat.
Like
So.
puppets? No.
Yeah, sort of
No.
like almost like marionettes without the
Yeah,
skull.
marionettes. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's puppets. That's where I went with that. So yeah, no, I'm
Mhm.
good. Thank you though. That one scares me because puppets are scary.
I mean, they don't really look that way, but it's just the art design's that way. It's not like they actually move like a marionette because that would be creepy. But
Mm.
They showed off some Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Looks pretty good. I gotta say.
yeah, they've
They
done a really
showed-
good job on this game. Some of the footage that's there, people are speculating. Are some people are speculating there's a multiplayer that they're going to reintroduce into it.
Ooh. As
Huh.
long as they don't like force it to be the main part of the game and just kind of add it as like an add-on, kind of like Halo did with the multiplayer. It was like, oh yeah, here's the multiplayer part of it, but the story is the great. But you have this option over here. As long as they kind of do that with this and respect that Metal Gear Solid is like the story game, like, holy, it's a good game. And don't try to like pigeonhole the multiplayer into it or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's.
hope they
There's
won't.
been multiplayer before in one of the games because somebody mentioned it. I don't remember which one it was. And so I think somebody was like, they're trying to bring it back, maybe, and introduce it this way to where you do have a multiplayer option as well versus just the storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get.
Yeah.
They also showed off Neo 3, which is there's a demo available on the PS5, I guess, right now, so you can try it out. But it looks pretty good. As with the rest of them, it looks like a natural evolution. Doesn't look like it's really doing anything different. Just another entry into the series.
Which is not bad. You don't have to reinvent the wheel with every one of your new entries.
No. I will say you should evolve your entries each time instead of just remaking and releasing.
Copy paste.
Yeah, the copy paste thing it gets old. You just got to make sure the story is good enough to carry into the next one so that it feels entirely separate and solo.
Right. the Astrobot DLC got a trailer, which I'm sure people are excited about since it won every award last year.
Yep.
Anything else for that one? There's the 3v3 Marvel beat 'em up that's coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say this one for Baka over here while I myself. Bloodstained, The Scarlet Engagement is a sequel to the original one, which was good. It's hard these days. It's hard for me to like get sucked into games as hard as I used to. But Bloodstained was one of those where it caught me and I just tore it up. I think I nearly 100% of the game. I just was in it. It was good. It felt so good. So
To win it.
yeah.
The Marvel token Fighting Souls. It's done by the same people who do like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. So
Okay. But I think that's most of the stuff on there. Also, the sad thing about Bloodstained is it's coming in the PS5, so I have to wait a little while.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were doing an exclusive with Death Stranding, but that one doesn't have a PC release date at present. I guess it will eventually, but that makes me sad because it means I gotta avoid everything about that for a whole year or more.
Is there co-op in this Bloodstained game?
You and Baka could play it together if that's the case.
Yeah, I know. Like looking at it, it looks like there's co-op. That'd be a hell of an interesting fucking game to run duos in. Oh, hold on.
Okay. Which one was after that? That
was from the State of the Play.
That was last week. I don't remember.
Thursday, we went to Saturday, which was Games Fest, which was the main show. All the fancy stuff.
All of it.
First, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. I talked about it on the last time show when we tried to do it, but the best part of the show was the Bamboozle by Capcom catching everybody with the Resident Evil 9 announcement. There were 2 commercials beforehand. One was just talking about the Capcom sales by the lady who voiced Lady Dimitrescu. And it's like, yeah, we're getting something. Oh, it's just a Capcom sale. Okay, whatever. Then she came back on again later, and she's like, I got this special message from you, from the director. And he came on, he's like, oh, thank you, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being so patient, and we just need a little bit more time, and we'll be able to let you know in the blink of an eye, and that's it. Oh, the pain. And then at the very end, he's like, I got one more to show you. And then it was the Resident Evil 9 trailer, which is pretty neat. Main character, as I think it's been confirmed now. It wasn't confirmed when we tried to do the show the last time, but it is confirmed now that Grace will be the main character. She is going to be our protagonist in this one, so very interesting. And she is the daughter of a character from an offshoot game, Resident Evil Outbreak, File 1 and File 2. So those will be permanently canon now because, you've taken one of these side characters from here and brought them into the main storyline. So it's going to be interesting to see more of it. It's got a release date for February 25th.
Is it?
If I'm not mistaken, next year. There's so many in this list. I got to scroll all the way down to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom. Oh my god, there's so many things.
So many. Like they updated it.
We're not talking about all of these.
No, not all of them.
It looks like the Bloodstained
will
have a co-op mode.
It will have a co-op mode?
Mm-hmm.
Sold. Well, once it comes to PC, sold.
The 27th of February.
Yes, the 27th of February. Okay, cool. Very interested.
Everything.
We're going back to Raccoon City, which I can almost guarantee we're probably going to see Leon or Jill or both of them, because she works for the FBI and doing an investigation on a specific infected death. So it looks like something is getting out again.
Ooh.
And who do you call when you got bioweapons?
Ghostbusters.
When you got bioweapons on American soil, you call Leon as you normally. Yeah. And Jill has been out of the game for so long, so I could see her going back to her and Leon being sent to investigate
When's the
because
last time
Chris
we
is
saw
supposed to
Jill?
be.
5? Was she in
Yes,
6?
Resident Evil 5. No, she wasn't in 6. It was Resident Evil 5, and if I'm not mistaken, the movie with all of them, I think is supposed to be canon, but she stays out of the game for a while because she's got like severe PTSD
Well,
from being brainwashed and
yeah.
mind controlled.
After
Like,
what happened to her in 5, like, no kidding.
yeah, she's pretty messed up, but I think she's kind of getting herself back together, which I think this would be a great entry for her to come back in. And Leon, of course, they've been building him up, so and it's Raccoon City, who's got a lot of experience in Raccoon City. Lots of theories going around. Are we going to see Nemesis again? Was he actually destroyed, or has he been, underground this whole time, just caked away? So
Caked
we'll see.
away.
We'll see.
That's a choice.
Layered down.
Okay, that's the kind of cake we're talking. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that one is the one that's got me. I'm excited for it because after this one they're gonna announce the remake. Whatever remake they're doing is gonna be announced right
5.
after that too. Maybe 5. I think it's supposed to be Code Veronica, which means we could see Claire in this one. And then because Claire hasn't been around for a long time either. We will see next year. Down to play it. Probably gonna stream it. So sold. All right, you guys can go ahead and pick some other stuff to talk about.
Chicken like, that's all that really mattered to me, but
Well, I mean, I can pick another one of these and just go. So,
I know.
One of the ones that interested me was the Mouse PI game, Mouse PI for Hire. It's black and white, 1930 style cartoon, first person shooter game. Supposed to have a lot of jazz music into it, and I'm a big jazz fan. Love first person shooters. Thought this was an interesting concept. And then when they just before it was announced, we're like, and you'll hear a familiar voice or something like that. And then of course, first thing pops up is Troy Baker's the main character, basically Jack Pepper. And it's like, okay, well, Troy's working again. That's cool.
And he's gonna be in everything, huh?
Yeah, it's like as soon as he comes out of the house, it's back into everything again.
Yeah, he's back into it. I just think it's just a cool concept. I hope that the humor is good with it. I also like the fact that it's on pretty much everything, which is awesome. So when that gets released, which doesn't look like we have a date on that one yet. So hopefully when it gets released, it'll be awesome. I've seen a little bit of information on it before, and I thought that was it was pretty neat looking. And then the game that, and I absolutely hate the fact that I have to agree with this man, but Jeff Keighley said this is a game he's been watching and one that he was very interested in. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, holy shit, I want to play this game. And it's called Felt That Boxing.
I saw it and thought of Baka. I was like, this seems like something
boxing.
right up his alley.
I generally don't like boxing games, but that one.
But you're a Muppet.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I was like, but I gotta beat the shit out of other Muppets.
It does look pretty good physics wise too. Like, I mean,
it's insane. Like if that's actually how the game looks, that's insane. How good, like it looks like actual puppets that are there.
Because it's actual puppets. They scripted everything.
Yeah,
all puppet wise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somehow I don't think so, but
I scanned in maybe, but it definitely is not.
I saw that trailer and I was like, I bet Baka would like that one.
Yeah, it looked just so neat. It was so different in the way that it was, like it's just like somebody thinking outside of the box. There's not a lot of good boxing games that are out there. I'm a big boxing fan, not necessarily the boxing games, but in this particular case, I just think it's neat to come out with something like that.
Like the last boxing game that I probably remember really playing or getting much into was like Punch Out.
Well, it's time. It's time again.
Back in the day.
It's time.
Back in the day.
We've come full circle.
Like, I generally don't care like if any kind of sport games, but
Well,
yeah, I may give that one a shot and see.
and I imagine a lot of these will be on Game Pass at some point too, since they have Xbox releases and PC. So probably.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword looked pretty good too.
Yes, I'm just looking at that one.
That one.
Oh,
There's
sounds
so many
like,
games on this thing. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
to
know.
go through.
Since
Oh,
they-
Wu-Tang Rise of the Receiver was announced as well. And
yeah, I'm
there
kind of curious how that's gonna go.
used to be Wu-Tang fighting games. So it's like and I know there's probably young children that are out there that are like, who the hell is Wu-Tang? Please look up Wu-Tang Clan. Please look up Wu-Tang Clan and let's do some Wu-Tang Clan. So
I mean, if they're kids, should they be listening to Wu-Tang? Depends on
Well,
how young, I
if you
guess.
were
Depends on
around,
how young.
anybody under me is a kid to me. I mean, in any way whatsoever. It's like I'm old. So, but
Yeah, but I
Wu-Tang
mean,
was
there's
fantastic.
like, yeah, that's just about everybody on the planet that's younger than you.
I will throw stuff at you, sir.
I
I will throw
you
stuff
almost
at you.
made tea come out my nose. Thank you.
know, right?
One of the things that was announced, like, it was kind of a surprise announcement, and I've been playing it since then. Was Splitgate 2, which I loved the first one, which is basically it's Halo with portals. Is the way that it's kind of set up. It feels like Halo. The default formats when you first start up, one of the things they announced was the BR. I'm not interested in the BR. I'm going to try it out at some point, but I like their arena shooting. And then they have a 24-person arena. The 24-person arena is 3 teams of 8.
3 teams of God.
Yeah, it's 3 teams of 8. You can only have 4 that you like. You can have 3 friends that you bring in with you, and then they're going to pair you up with 4 more.
Holy shit! I'd have to like. I want to watch something like that because that almost seems like you're guaranteed to get flanked. The problem with having 3 teams in a game like that is that almost every time you're fighting one team, you're gonna get flanked by another one.
And the way that they've set it up is they did. So it's kind of like capture, like King of the Hill, right? It rotates around a little bit on some of the modes, and some of the modes you have actual steady points that you have to dominate in order to get the points up. And so you have to capture one of the levels or one of the circles for a certain amount of time. And if you capture it, I don't like this part of it, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I understand they have to do it to push the game forward, is when, like, let's say that we capture half of that particular circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've gotten half of that circle done, and then we get pushed out, and the other team gets 25% of that. If we move back in and take that back over, we only have to capture half. We don't have to capture all to get the points for that. And I know they did it to speed up the game, but it was one of those where it was like, it doesn't reset, which means if I'm at 90%, I stay at 90%, no matter if somebody else is, taking part of it. I feel like some of that needs to take the other person's away or other teams away a little bit. If I'm capturing part of it, like let's say I captured 25%, it needs to take 25% away from the other team. But
I think if there's going to be multiple rounds of that, then they need to make it so that it stacks. So if you got 50% on this one, team 2 gets 25%, other team gets 25%. That round ends, starts again. Now your team is at 50 points, 25 points, 25 points, and then you go again to try to get as much of the ring as
what
you can.
they do is, so you have like on that particular type of round, it's one place that you're trying to get. It's a King of the Hills, but once that's captured, then that rotates.
Okay.
So you go in and you've captured a particular percentage of it, and then your team gets wiped, and then the other 2 teams are fighting it out or whatever, and one of them captures the 25%. You're still trying to capture the same one. So they've set it up to where you have whoever's the first to capture 3 of the circles wins.
So you have to get 100. So you technically need 300 points to win.
Well, there's not 100. You're not looking at actual points. You're just looking at a bar, and then you have 1, 2, and you have 3 up to 3 of them that you have to capture. So like it'll say 1 out of 3 captured, and it'll show you at the top who has captured. And like I for a long time didn't even know that the orange team existed. There was the blue team and the red team kept winning everything, so I had no idea that there was even a third team playing. And because I was just shooting everybody that wasn't part of our team, and then all of a sudden the orange team gathered something. I went, oh wait, they're actually playing. Okay, I got you now. But I was like 3 matches in before I realized there was a third team. But I like that round. I like the regular arena as well, but I like the having the second team, a third team in there.
I think if they just did if they did the three hills and then did 100 points for each one of them, and then whoever has the most points at the end would just, to me, it seems like it'd be simple.
Well, the other one that they do is where you have the set points and you have to gather those. There's 4 set points. However long you hold on to them adds points to the thing. If you have more than one going at a time, it goes faster, so that type of thing. And then it maxes out at 400 points. So that one's a little different on how it's set up versus it. There's some things they need to change on it, but for the most part, I've enjoyed the game. And I play it at least 1 or 2 games every night, just to get in and get some time into it. But it's a nice feel to feel like you're playing Halo, like old school Halo again.
To feel the
and they've
nostalgia
changed-
a little bit.
Yeah, and they changed up the gameplay when it comes to from the first one to this one on how some of this stuff works. They have what they call a smart. That's not a word.
Smart. Very smart choice.
Portal system. So we're going to call it a Smortle.
No, get out.
So when you put your portal somewhere and then you put your next portal somewhere, it like to go through. Once you go through that portal, if you hit a portal somewhere else to put it there, it sends it to the next one versus before where you would kind of swap in between the two. So they kind of changed that up too. But I'm enjoying it. It's free to play. You can just play it and earn stuff or buy the battle pass, whatever you want to do. It's done pretty well. And then once you get 50,000 XP, it unlocks 3 more modes. So they want you experienced, I guess, before you go into those. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I thought Ill looked neat. It's another.
Ill looked sick, yo.
Stop. Stop.
Hey, it's
don't
Dad.
encourage
He
him.
gets to tell all the jokes he wants.
That's right.
It's like a Resident Evil Silent Hill fusion, I guess. I don't know when it's coming out because I don't think there was an actual solid release date. It is gonna be on PC, PS5, and Xbox, so it's like everywhere. But it seemed neat, and I do like my horror survival games.
It looks so good too, like realistic good, not like because it's creepy and scary. Not that good, but
horror fans are eating well this year. We got Resident Evil on the books. We got 2 Silent Hills cooking. We got an Ill. We've got Chronos. Like we got games cooking.
Yeah, and it shouldn't
nice
be
to
that
see a
funny, but
revitalization.
there's little demon babies that you can punt in this game. So
there were infected monstrous things in dead space that you had to kill. Those little tentacle babies that crawl on the wall would just absolutely shred you.
Yes. So
I mean, in Doom 3, there's babies. There's demon babies. I'm just saying.
Punting demon babies will probably never not be fun, but now I'm probably on a list of some sort. Probably already
Demon
was,
babies,
I guess.
Yeah, so that when demons come up and they need someone to pump babies, they'll call you.
Oh, yeah. I thought it looked interesting, though. It has the stagger mechanic from Resident Evil where you shoot it in the knee so it staggers down. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that. I need that mechanic. Sometimes I just need a second to reload. But that one seemed neat. One that I wasn't expecting to be interested in because I usually am not into mech games was Mecha Break, and that one looks cool. It's coming out in July, and it's gonna be on Steam and Xbox, so I kind of want to try it. Baka, did you watch the trailer for that one? You like mech stuff. You and Ollie are the big mech dudes in the group.
I did not watch that one. No.
I am disappointed, sir.
It looks interesting. we'll have to see actual gameplay.
Some of the movement kind of reminded me of some of the
Gundam.
gameplay in Anthem. and that's kind of what caught my eye because the gameplay in Anthem was so smooth and so good.
Good luck.
Oh,
Good
it
luck
was
trying
real
to.
good.
Yeah, good luck trying to copy that.
I
Ugh.
know. I was kind of
That game
hoping
was-
maybe this one would
I
be
mean,
similar.
they look like Gundams.
I was gonna say they look like
They're-
Gundams more
They're
than.
just big mechs, so
Yeah, but Gundam has a very specific style of things. So
pointy robots. That's what Gundam is. I don't know. I know.
Say you don't know
Ollie's
what
like,
Gundams is.
Ollie's
Yeah,
probably
Ollie's like,
cringing
"Oh,
right now. Like, what are you talking about? But every Gundam that I've seen, it just has like spiky robot stuff.
I mean, it makes it where you can recognize it.
It's true.
Yeah, very true.
I want to try that though. I thought it looked cool. Apparently, a lot of people really liked the song on the trailer too. Was amping people up, so that's cool. Double win. What else from the main show?
Infinitesimals, or however you pronounce that one, looked interesting. But it's like yet another game where you're shrunk down, but this time you really are a bug, but that has tech essentially.
A tech bug. You're a
tech bug.
Turian from
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So that one's interesting.
So two games where you're shrunk down coming out that involved bugs. Because
Yeah.
Grounded 2 was announced.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the Xbox.
I
yeah.
do want to play
Yeah,
that,
that was on the
Marvel
Xbox.
beat 'em up game too.
the Marvel shoot 'em up game. Which one was that?
The beat 'em up.
Oh, beat 'em up. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was like, wait.
Oh,
there's a shooter?
Cosmic Invasion.
Mm-hmm. I like beat 'em up games.
Yeah, no, I can't do beat 'em up. I lose track where
You
I'm
played
at.
you were able to play beat 'em ups like Castle Crashers. Which speaking of Castle Crashers, they showed off.
She did the Ninja Turtle one as well. Cause
Yeah,
you
I
did
was not
that.
very good at it on either of those. Thank you.
They showed off Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny, which is a Castle Crasher style game too, except an RPG style adventure game with the Nicktoons, and you have to go through, I guess, the story and whatnot. But it looks like it plays a little bit more three-dimensional, like a three-dimensional version of Castle Crashers, because Castle Crashers was 2D left to right.
Mhm.
This one looks like it's 2D, but in a 3D world where you can kind of go up and down and around. So it's interesting. I like games like this because there's a lot more to them for kids instead of it just being simple games where you go left and right or you don't really do much in them. Like it's a good introduction to kids for RPGs like that. So, I mean, back in my day and back in their day, it was like, oh, you want an RPG? Here's Final Fantasy. 250 hours of extremely deep lore and lots of complicated stuff, combat timings and things like that. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but sure.
Okay. Fractured Blooms was one that was neat. It's very cryptic. I imagine it's gonna be one of those like the story is not quite what it seems as you continue to play it. It doesn't have a release date or anything, but it was neat. I'm interested. It's on my I'm gonna keep an eye on that one list. Checking out favorite
They
parts.
showed off Atomic Heart 2. Okay, so the sequel to Atomic Heart, and then right afterwards they showed off The Cube,
Which is the
which-
MMO version of Atomic Hearts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not
It's the
entirely
same
sure.
universe, so
Yeah, it's a third-person shooter MMO, which, whatever, show me what you got. Which is what I just say to just about every game these days. Show
Yeah.
me what you got. So that'll be interesting to see.
I really gotta play the first Atomic Hearts at some point.
I think it's on.
Get around to it.
was on Game Pass. It's still on Game
Yeah, as I
Pass.
say, I think it's on Game Pass.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think it's
know.
still on Game Pass.
My Game Pass is not up currently, but it might be at some point.
Grab that $1 deal and you'll be good to go.
I know.
I keep
that's-
checking on it. We don't have it reset yet.
Yeah. So whenever it does reset, though, that'd be nice.
To be fair, the only reason I got like a 7-day free. I played Blueprints for like a week straight because Discord gave me a little quest that was like, watch this video and you can have 7 days of Xbox Game Pass, and I forgot about it. and I did it in March.
Oh,
But
no.
since I finished it, it kept the code for me for like a year. So I was like, oh, I'll just use the code now. So I used it and got Blueprints, or played Blueprints for a while.
Such a good game.
One of the ones that we were that Chicken and I were looking at, and I think would be interesting for our Friday night group to try out, is Killer Inn. It's a Square Enix game, but that thing is a 24-player online version of basically like
I'm getting First Class Trouble.
Yeah, First Class Trouble, Among Us kind of thing, where you got to figure out who the killer is and stuff like that. It's Among Us is definitely the base simple version of those kinds of games, but there's a lot more to it. And this
I gotta say, it's more towards Darwin Project. Like, some of these deception games are starting to lean towards longer scaling style gameplay, to where it's not, which is like First Class Trouble is that base evolution of it, where it's a longer format game where you don't just do tasks and then solve and then just kill everybody. There's true deception in First Class Trouble. Yeah, like, and not in Among Us. Among Us is basic. You kill people, you move around, you have classes, things like that. But First Class Trouble is in my opinion, the truest format of a deception game, because you can deceive your way to the end and win. You don't have to kill anybody at all.
That's true.
So there is a full yeah, I know. So is CAD. Everybody has. And then it's one of those things where even the note cards can sometimes put so much pressure on a single individual, and you can take them out, but it leaves it so open for the second person that you can't guarantee. So without a lot of negotiating and detective work and things like that, it's hard to be so confident, which, like I said, perfect deception game. It's the one that I think is the baseline, and this one seems like it takes that and kind of upgrades it to where you get new items. You've got to be very careful about who you team up with. You've got to find ways to investigate people or things like that. So for 24 players, though,
that game's gonna have to be big right out of the gate, because you're not gonna be able to have half-empty lobbies in something like that. Like, if it requires
I'm just
24...
wondering, because they've got a beta test that's reportedly on its way. I'm wondering if some of that would change once a beta hits, because I feel like there needs to be, like, 24 is your max. Like, they're just telling you 24 online, 2 teams of 12, whatever. And then they're going, but that's the max. We're also going to have a 6v6 and a 4v4 or whatever.
Because 24 people, like, that's a lot of people for a lobby, and in a deception game. Like, I don't know. It's gonna have.
I agree,
especially for a quick turnaround, because normally if you're playing an online game, you want them on and off to the next game quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm requesting access right now. I don't think I did.
Oh. Wow. That one, I don't think that one has a release date on it either. Oh yeah, there's no release date, but
no.
Yeah. I know Oak said the closed beta thing. I just didn't know if there was actually a plan yet. Well, we'll have to see, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that got announced the last week, like especially PC stuff, is gonna have closed beta and early testing and things like that. And a lot of these things definitely need some work. When we get to the PC game, when we tried out one of the ones that was having an open test, and it's in need of a lot of tweaks, which may be the case with this one too, because like I said, 24 people.
Well, I'm looking at this right now because they had a nice little write-up of what Killer Inn is. It's an asymmetrical. We know that. Team of lamb, team of wolves. All the wolves know who they are. The lambs don't know who anybody is. First Class Trouble style.
Yeah.
Team that eliminates, the other wins. Okay. Whenever a wolf kills a lamb, they always leave a clue behind. So whoever finds the body first gets the clue. That will help lead you to who killed them. So make sure those are important. And then while you're going through the inn, you do quests for staff members in the castle. You'll earn tokens that you can use to open up chests, which can have items in there. Very similar to First Class Trouble. You got to get into special rooms so that you can get items. And you can also save up gold that you find throughout the inn to buy items, similar to Dam. or no, similar to Deceit,
Deceit.
2.
Yeah, Deceit 2
Deceit.
did that.
So it feels like a combination of First Class Trouble and Deceit 2, which I'm interested to see where they go with.
Speaking as people, we all know this. Speaking as people that love playing
people.
both of those games, you know what I mean? Both of those games are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love them games. But I understand that
But it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The deception games are usually something that you're playing with your group of friends at this point, and not in a online matchmaking scenario. And that's why the 24 people lobbies make me worried that the game's not going to last. It's because that's a lot of people to be paired with.
Yeah, which breaks my heart because this Friday was Friday the 13th, and in remembrance of Friday the 13th, one of the best asymmetrical horror games that we've had that got abandoned too early. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Sorry.
And of course, Friday the 13th was the first time that we've had 8 people in like 8 months.
Mm.
We had just enough to play again, but it wasn't there for us. Curse you, legal system.
Legal system. Well, what else? Was there anything else that drew you to it from the?
I know some people are super hyped up about Arc Raiders. To me, it just looks like another extraction shooter.
Yeah,
style
that
game.
one
I mean,
doesn't look like anything
I
special.
watched a lot of Arc Raiders just because I've got people that I watch that play those style of games. And I will say there are parts of it that are exactly as you say. They're just like every other extraction shooter, whatever. There are elements to it though that I've seen that are more extreme than that. Like, so one of the things like with Tarkov, you go in and you're worried about both the bots and whatever they're called, scabs or whatever they're called in the game.
Yeah.
And you're worried about the people that have entered the area. So they've got different robotic things inside of Arc Raiders. And one of the scariest moments I've seen too is a guy was doing some stuff and like moved around and he was up into a tower, and all of a sudden he heard this sound, and when he did, out of the woods below, he saw the woods move below him, and this giant mechanical 4-legged spider shaped thing comes flying at him that is like 4 times his size that's coming at him. So it's like there's different elements to it that on the PvE side that I think is going to make this game most likely a little bit more popular than say the other ones, because the actual PvE element might make it to where people have to work together a little bit before they start shooting each other.
Hey, Vodka, what does that remind you of? You know what game I'm thinking of.
You broke him.
My brain's drawing a blank at the moment.
Hunt Showdown. The
Okay,
monster,
yeah,
the
very similar.
PvE,
I would-
Okay, yeah.
the PvE in that game is deadly, and they are alert as shit. Like staying low and the environment that you have to be in is just as much of a danger as the people, which I really like. So if this has that kind of style, I think they're probably going to try to fit into that niche where Hunt Showdown is, because that, in my opinion, is a near perfect PvE style game because the environment is dangerous.
Well, and I saw a friend of mine, he walked up onto an area and they were hunting stuff or whatever. And then I don't remember if it came out of the ground or whatever it was, but it was this massive piece of machine that came crawling out of the ground. And I'm talking like the size of like 4 or 5 dump trucks, like massive.
That's time to dip.
Yeah, and so now
Deuces.
you're having to run and get out, right? And then the extractions, they go down. They actually so you go into a place where the extraction's at. It's an elevator that lowers down into the ground. So it's like they're trying to hide in an area and not get shot from this machine while they wait on the elevator to come up or whatever it is it's got to do in order for them to go down. So yeah, like there's some like really interesting stuff with it, and I think that they're looking at what was popular with certain games and what was popular with extraction shooters, trying to combine them. So it could end up being a pretty decent game.
But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. It's supposed to be super popular, so
And I think it's teams of
watch it
3s.
kind of just like Hunt Showdown.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the popular number for those kinds of games, though.
It's because it's
Mhm.
not an overwhelming number, and you usually have like you and one, so it's you and two partners, your left and right hand,
Mm-hmm.
on either side. So I think three is a safe number for those kind of deep PvE VP games. But I think that's good on the Game Fest announcements.
Yeah, that was an okay show. I
Yeah, it
wasn't
was okay. It
like,
had some
oh
stuff.
my
The,
god,
the
amazing.
Resident Evil 9 made it the greatest.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you
Period.
have that one.
It's the greatest thing ever. No, I'm kidding. It was good. That's about it. It was good. Resident Evil 9 elevated it. Oh, after that was Sunday, which they did the Xbox showcase, and then after that was the PC showcase. But
Mhm.
for the Xbox showcase, I would give that thing like a B, in my opinion. I didn't get to see any Fable, which they've been talking about for years now. We
They
didn't
talked
see,
about it last year.
yeah,
Yeah, but nothing since then. He's
No,
all
I think it was.
sad.
I think it was Gamescom last year was the last time we heard it. So it's almost 2
maybe we'll
years.
see some more on Gamescom.
Mhm.
No, nothing new from Halo, which is fine. I know they're working on a lot of stuff with Halo, and there was something else that they didn't show off. No, oh yeah, that's right. They only showed a little bit of Gears of War E-Day, which I'm stoked for.
They were focused
I
on
love.
the Gears of War remaster.
Oh
Yep.
yes, they showed off that one too.
And part of that's because it's going to PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Reloaded is what that one was called. Gears of
Yeah.
War Reloaded. August 26th. So
I do wish that they'd go ahead and remaster 2 and 3 if they're going to do that.
yeah, like just give us the whole trilogy, the original trilogy. Just give
Yeah,
us the
especially at
set.
this point.
I don't know
Yes.
why you wouldn't do that, but they're gonna drip it
Oh,
out.
they're about to say they can get more money if they just go here's the first one, but you love that. Here's the second one,
Yeah,
but now you got to finish it out.
but I mean,
The big-
I'm down to play it again.
The big announcement that everybody was kind of talking about afterwards was the handheld version of the Xbox, which is just the Rogue Ally, which already exists, the Rogue Ally X as well. And I try to compare it to what's currently basically the processor is what's changed. The same amount of you have the terabytes and the memory is exactly the same on those to where of what it currently exists with the Ally and the Ally X. The difference is going to be currently if you go out and you buy an Ally right now in the stores, it's going to be a actual Windows 11 machine that is going to have all the bloat and everything that you think of with the Windows 11. Where if you buy the Rogue Ally Xbox edition when it comes out, supposedly this Christmas time, you will be dealing with an Xbox UI essentially that works like, because we all know for years that it's basically Windows just brought down to just for gaming, and that's what you'll be able to do, as well as play some Steam games, some GOG games, some Epic games as well. You will not be able to play all Xbox games on this device.
Weird.
And the part that people aren't going to catch either, there's the Ally and there's the Ally X. The Ally, think of it as the Xbox Series S versus the Xbox Series X. They are one of those. It's going to be one of those things to where you are going to get a much better performance out of the X than you are the regular Ally. 24 gig of RAM versus 16 gig of RAM is part of it. And then you're going to have a difference in space too. I think it's 1 terabyte for your normal
512 gigabytes on the other one.
versus and 512 on the other one. So you're going to be able to store a lot more as well.
Yeah.
So it's a great concept, but if you go right now, because I went the other day and looked it up on Best Buy, if I go right now and buy an Xbox, not the Xbox, sorry, if I go buy the Rogue Ally X that's currently available, it's close to $1,000.
Not worth. I could take that
So
$1,000 and put it into my PC right now, and I'd be set.
But you can't take your PC with
And
you.
which I mean, I
I
get
don't need to
the
take
idea
my
of
PC
having
with
it
you.
portable and be able to do that, but you can almost buy 2 Steam Decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind
You
of
buy one for
Full
the Steam
edition
games, and
of
then you
this
modify the other one
index.
for the Xbox games.
I'm like, okay,
Jesus.
no, I'm good. Because I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. You know, have it to be able to take on trips, do stuff like that. And then I was like, you know, $500. All right, makes sense. Be right around. No, I
No.
guarantee you, when this thing's coming out, it's gonna be the same price as what they currently have going on right now, and it's gonna end up being right around $1,000.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, which you can just go buy a Switch 2, which is cheaper. Which is weird to say right now because everybody thought it was kind of expensive when it came out. It's $500, but
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're throwing down pennies on these things, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
yeah, but twice the price.
No.
Mm,
No, thank you.
I'm good. I'm good.
As far as games go, I know I have certain like tastes in games that I know is not for everybody on the planet. Clockwork Revolution looks really, really cool to me. I don't know if
that
that's
game
gonna
looks
be
awesome.
It does look really good,
Does
but
look
I don't
good.
think it's gonna be a game where it's like everybody's playing it. But I'm super excited about it. It's
There's a
very
lot of people talking about that game though,
it's very
There-
Bioshocky to me.
but I think that's why people are talking about it. It's like they're wanting a new BioShock, and this is as close as we're going to be able to get to it.
yeah. So
And it's In Exile that's doing that one, I think.
it
So it's
doesn't
one of
have
the
a release
Microsoft
date.
companies.
It's just in due time, quote unquote. And it's like, but when though? When can I have this? It looks amazing. It hits so many of my like things that I like. It checks so many boxes for me. So I'm interested in that one. I got my eye on that one.
I did find out that one of the games that was announced, which is the Blood of the Dawnwalker, which is a vampire can go during the daytime, is part of the people that left CD Projekt Red to create a game of their own.
Ooh, neat.
Huh.
Yeah, so they worked on the Witcher series. I don't know if they worked on Cyberpunk or not, but they did work on the Witcher series for sure. And this is their game that's coming out. So it could be, if you're a Witcher fan, it could be where
Interesting.
it's very similar
Next year.
storytelling wise.
Yeah, watching the trailer, it does look pretty good and interesting. A vampire walk out through there during the day. He's got a vengeance against the people that turned him, and I guess you can kind of choose your own style. Man, there was a write up somewhere. I wish I could remember what it was, but it was basically all of these people promised that free range narrative stories, and it was like there are three things that you get out of, or there are three things. I can't remember. It was basically three things in those games, and you're only ever allowed to have two of those three. No game is perfect. You can't give up your full freedom for a good story. There
Right.
has to be some limits to your story. There has to be some limits to the world to give you the free story. So it's like all of these people want to advertise like they give you all of it, but you're never going to get all. You can't. It's just
Right.
not possible. You're going to have to give up one of those options to fill the other two, just to make it. It's like Baldur's Gate is, I think, as close as you can get, but you're in a very, ironically, linear style game. Start Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You go to Baldur's Gate, and that's how the story ends.
Yeah.
So there is a limit to how much freedom you're allowed and how many choices you are allowed to get in these freedom games.
Well, and
So I
that
get it.
particular game, the Baldur's Gate 3, you're dealing with the player becomes part of the storytelling as well, because they're making
Mhm.
the decision, and then
Yep.
they had to go, what kind of decisions would people make in this particular case? Like just
What are all these
even
ridiculous
picking up
things?
something randomly or blowing
Yeah.
shit up randomly,
Yeah.
whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, so interested in that. They showed off some Ninja Gaiden 4. Looks good.
Which is so funny to watch people talk about it because everybody's autocorrect changes it to Ninja Garden, and now I just want a Ninja Gardening game.
I'm sure there's one
That
out
would be
there.
hilarious. You sneak up on the plants to pick them.
Yeah. Or to water them. Like, you gotta sneak in
Water them.
and drop the fertilizer while the plants don't know. Yeah.
You take care of a garden of somebody who's old and can't take care of the garden, so you just sneak in every day to take
Oh.
care of it, and they don't know.
You're the
They
garden
think it's a
ninja.
magical garden.
Ah. Or
That's
they just
funny.
think that they're doing
And
a
they
really
praise
good
the
job.
gnomes.
Yeah. Ooh, perfect. You could be a ninja gnome.
Look, I didn't mean to
Ninja.
derail it, but the
Anyway.
autocorrect is really killing it on that one. It's so funny.
The
I'm kind of
Ghost
interested
at-
in the High on Life too, because I played the
Yes.
first one. That one was fun.
That definitely seems like it would be your thing.
It looks good. I mean, from a first-person shooter standpoint, I never played the first one. I
I
wanted
did.
to,
It was
but
on
this.
Game Pass.
I thought the talking gun would drive me insane if I played it, though.
I've heard that like for some people over time that gets annoying because the talking does like degrade the player a bit after a while, where they're like making fun of you, which is kind of supposed to be part of the shtick, but some people found like it after a while it was just too much. So I haven't played it yet, but it was on my list of things to do eventually.
There Are No Ghosts at the Grand had a
That
really good trailer.
Ooh, that
yeah, I
trailer
was like,
great.
oh, okay, so it's a you get a hotel or inherit a hotel and you've got to refurbish it. Okay, so it's just one of those like house flipper type game. Oh no, wait. Okay, these people are hiding something, and you have powers. You're hiding something. Oh my god, the cat talked to me. Like the way that trailer crept up on me was too much. I
Well,
love
and like
it.
the very first shot is the old man talking to you, and then behind him, the entire house is changing, and it's just really beautifully done. I hope this game is as good as it looks right now, because I just thought it was interesting. It was like basically pulled out a gun to knock the stuff off the walls.
Yeah, it was,
Um,
I'm sold. I'm in. Give it to
It was
me.
very interesting.
2026.
so-
Don't know when in 2026, but 2026. I think I already put it on my wish list. If I didn't, I'm gonna do it right now. If I can.
Should be able to. I would
That
think.
one, yeah, that one was definitely a good one. Interesting. Oh, that one's already out? Okay. I didn't realize
What one
that. One of the shows, I think it was the PC Gamer show, did the thing for the altars. And I just didn't
Yeah,
realize
Alters
it was
just
already
came
out.
out this week. It
Yeah,
just
I
came
didn't
out this week.
realize. I had wish listed it, and then I just saw it when I opened Steam just now, and it was right there, and it was like, available now. Oh, okay.
Maybe you'll get that $1 thing because it's also available on Game Pass. It just-
I need to do that during the fall. So, okay, I did not put it on my wish list. It's on my wish list now.
I know one of the games you were really interested in, Griff, was the Mudang Two Hearts.
Yeah, I felt like a crazy person because right after the show, nobody was talking about it, and I was like, am I the only one that saw that trailer? It looked so cool. It's like Splinter Cell-ish, I guess, but it's dual protagonists where you've got the dude that's the military guy, and then the little like punky, probably
Like pop star.
stealther, yeah,
She looks like a
K-pop
pop
girl, who has a stun gun. So I am definitely in. Like, put me on that train. I'm good. I want that one. It's supposed to be next year also. There's a lot of stuff
That
that's
one would
supposed
also
to
be kind of
next
cool
year.
too. That if you could co-op it, one person's playing her and one person playing him, and or vice versa.
I'm to me it looks like it's gonna be a single
I
player
guarantee you,
experience.
but I think it would be fun to have something to where you could like communicate in some way, and one person was playing one through the game one direction, and the other one's playing another way.
I imagine it's
As
gonna
an
be
option.
just dual gameplay types because I assume because the guy also seems like he has some sort of like rage power of some sort. So I assume that they will play very differently to each other, and it's gonna be that interesting like this actor him, this actor her, like the juxtaposition of how they have to navigate the worlds, you know, and things like that. I'm totally interested. It looked really good to me. I was all in.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I'm
not a
trying to
ton of
think.
games that I was all in on, but that one was one of them.
Grounded 2 looked great.
Yeah, Baka mentioned that earlier. Grounded 2 looks fantastic. I like the fact that the park that they're putting them in is like 3 times larger than the backyard we had before, so it's going to allow for more storytelling. They've brought Eidos or however we want to pronounce it in to help with the story writing, which is
Yeah.
pretty neat. You now can ride bugs instead of just having like a little companion bug
And have
next to
pet
you.
bugs.
Well, you
Oh,
can
I
have
think you
pets
could have
before,
pet bugs before.
but this is like actual being able to ride them. You have, if you need to go do work or whatever, to help build your base, and you can use the ants to ride those, and they help you carry stuff. If you need a battle right now, it's the orb weaver spider, and they're called buggies.
No.
Buggies.
Ow.
Buggies.
Buggies.
It needs to be more than 4 players though.
Yeah. I wish that it was, because our typical group is going to be 5, so it means somebody gets left out, and that kind of sucks.
Well, that's why we play the new Arc game and get to be Power Rangers.
You just want to be a Power Ranger. Stop it.
I have a problem.
Well, two of us want to be Power Rangers, so
Yeah.
I want to be the Green Ranger.
Lols.
The Animo, I'm not sure. how to say it.
Animo.
That one's
Yeah.
one that when Chicken and I saw, we're like, Cat's gonna want that game because it's Pal World esque. It's very cute, it's like Pal World Pokemon-ish. I don't know.
When I first saw it, I thought because the song that was on it it's saying something about something world in it. And I can't remember what the first word is, but the way it's being sang almost sounds like Power World. And I was like, wait, I've not played this game in like whenever it was first released, that first month. That was the last time I played it. Have they changed it this much? You know, type deal. And then it was like, pop that up and I was like, okay, never mind. We're good.
Power World got its face beaten in by Nintendo, so this game could exist.
There you go.
Because they took all the lessons that Nintendo is just going after Power World for and completely changed it. There's no capturing ones. You become the pal.
Then
You
Nintendo
change the battle style.
said about something on it, and they're gonna like they're gonna try to nitpick it.
They'll try, but I mean, that would be a mistake to spread your lawyers too thin to try to fight multiples, because you start doing that, then a third game comes out, and a fourth game, and a fifth game, and they start blowing up, and now you're fighting an entire war, and it's you just pick one battle, you fight it, you try to build defense around it, and because if you try to push too hard, you're going to do nothing but lose in the long run.
Yeah.
So.
Some of these
But it is
games-
interesting to look at.
I was putting things on my Steam wish list, and some of these games I don't think Steam understands what similar means. Similar to games you've played. I was listing Gears of War E-Day on my thing, and it's like similar to games you've played. Marvel Rivals. Nah, it's not. And the No Ghosts at the Grand, it was like similar to games you played. Silent Hill 2. No, I don't think so. I don't remember there being any sort of remodeling the hotel in Silent Hill, but could be wrong. Maybe I missed that part.
It's a mystery style game.
It's the mystery style. The other one's third person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all
I'm just
similar.
saying.
Not at all. Thanks for participating.
One of the games that I'm very interested in, I want to see more information on it too. It's supposed to be coming out in 2026. Is I am a fan of a Plague's Tale series. The first and second were really, really well written. This is supposedly supposed to be a prequel that's being done, so maybe a new series that they're creating as well called Resonance. And it takes place, it looks like, in Greece, battling gods and stuff like that, which is pretty neat. I like those developers, so I'm interested to see how that game ends up working out.
What was it called?
It's called Resonance.
Residence. Okay.
Resonance.
Resonance. Okay.
Resonance. A Plague's Tale Legacy.
Okay. I guess I scrolled past that one. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's
seeing
near
it,
the
but-
top.
Yeah.
It's like number 3.
Okay. Oh. Chicken, you were like, oh, the rug pull, and it was so good when the they were trolling everybody and for the Resident Evil one. Yeah, I got rug pulled at the end of the Xbox show, and I'm pretty upset about it because I was like, hey, what's this cool cyberpunky game?
You and most of the people that watch this.
It's Call of Duty.
Me included.
I was all in until it put up what it was, and I was like, never mind, I'm out.
I was
'Cause
getting
I
a
just-
sci-fi shooter with an actor I like, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. We're going to go in there. They're showing us a brand new IP that Activision has created. This is fantastic. I'm
It's
so
not.
excited. And then
It looked so
boom.
cool too, and the second it put up the Call of Duty logo on it, I was like, never mind, I'm good, thanks. Like,
Yeah, maybe it was going to be a new IP, and then they just kind of went, well, we'll just slap Call of Duty on it.
Maybe the thing that's interesting to it though is it looks like a very sci-fi realm, and the Call of Duty people that normally play their games don't really care for sci-fi much. They're the boots on the ground guys. Oh, got to do boots on the ground. The ones that have not done as well have been the ones that on top of twist. But you're now on Black Ops 7. You got to do something.
Yeah.
like we
It
were
went
literally talking
very
about
like
earlier.
cyberpunk, and I was super in because cyberpunk's one of the genres that like I'm almost always all for, but
Right.
yeah, I just don't.
It's like me and pirates.
Yeah, yeah, I just don't see that being super good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe this is the return to when Call of
I
Duty had
doubt
really
it.
cool single player campaign stuff that was really impressive. But yeah, I'm kind of on
Well,
chicken
it
side.
could
I
be
doubt
really
it.
cool, but it might be 5 hours long, which makes it like not worth it for anybody that doesn't play all the multiplayer they have.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
the
know.
bad part.
I was sad. I felt lied to. You lied to
You and me
me.
both, and a lot of other people, because I've seen a lot of people complain about that.
Yeah.
There was another one, Beasts of Reincarnation. It looked really. I got to be honest. It looked really good. It was very cinematic, big monster fighting, things like that. It looks gorgeous. It's made by Game Freak. Yeah, those people that make Pokemon games. Yeah, it means about
Wait a
those
minute. Aren't
folks.
they busy with recreating the same Pokemon game every year or something?
They've
Yeah,
made other games too. I looked it up
yeah.
last time. I can't remember all of them.
It's
That was on there.
wild that they made that one. It looks so good. I'm very interested. I'll keep my eyes open. But it's supposed to come next year to Xbox, PS5, and PC. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
They showed
Anything
off more
else?
Outer Worlds too, but I was
They said it's supposed to be better than the first one. They took their lessons and are improving. So we'll see. Good luck
Yeah.
to them on that one.
yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
And then there was the PC game show immediately following that, which had some cool stuff and some samey stuff.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna scroll. We're gonna go at the top and work our way down.
We don't need to talk about every single one of these.
We're
That's
not.
quite a
No,
list.
we're not
Okay.
going to talk about every one of these. We're gonna, like I
Cool.
said, we're all gonna scroll through these, and if you see one, then you can talk about it.
Yeah.
The Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter's Nights looks pretty good. Interested to see when that one comes out. Oh,
We're scrolling.
I'm trying to
Yeah, I'm
see.
just-
There was a game. Of course, there was Engine Fall that we just played that I didn't care for.
Yeah, that one needs a lot. We played the playtest. That's the one that I mentioned earlier, and it needs quite a bit.
I think
work.
playing with friends is not the way to do that one.
Yeah.
Because Snitty was on my level with that one. Like we understood what we were trying to do there because it gives me closed quarters Daisy vibes.
I did not enjoy it. I also didn't like where I was like harvesting all of this stuff for the tutorial where I'm supposed to be, where like you got to figure out how the game is supposed to work. And I'm open my bag at the crafty bench and I don't have anything because people can pickpocket you from right. It's first person, so if you don't see them walk up behind you, they just pickpocket your shit and you don't know.
Yeah.
So
that's
it was a waste of time in a lot of respects. I was like,
Railborn.
I had stuff.
especially for like the first area needs to be a safe zone because me and Cindy got to like the third or fourth train down the line, and every time you enter a new train zone, there's an airlock in which you have to go through.
I did not go through a single airlock, and I got murdered 4 times.
You did go through an airlock from the
We
first.
did that to
from
get
the
into the
staging
room
area
that
into
was
the
in
Oh,
second
in the
area.
main room, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, where the one to enter the room that you kept getting pickpocketed in was you had to
An
go through an
airlock.
Yeah,
So we
dumb.
went into the next train, which was filled with trash and random buildings and whatnot. You could loot stuff and build stuff there. And then we went into the next one, which was a more narrow area, closer quarters and things like that. But then when we got to that next one, first of all, we didn't have permission to be there. And he constantly said that you do not have the right ID to be here. And we kept seeing people who were on the conductor side versus the rebels were talking shit to each other. So it was interesting to see because their job is to protect the conductor. Whoever's at the front of the train is the VIP. And I guess at some point when you do an assault to get the conductor or take over, then you can get stuff. But when we got to that door, it was actually locked, and we needed to make one of the blast charges to be able to open up that door to get into the next area. Which I think if we do that, it instantly starts setting off alarm bells to alert other people that the plebs in the back of the train are starting to break forward. So I'm interested to see where they want to go with that. It's an interesting concept, but it definitely needs some love.
Yeah, it
But I
was
mean, they're only
not
doing like 5-hour
my.
play tests in different regions, so
Yeah. I was like,
not a
nah.
lot of time.
Like the second or third time that I got to the workbench and I didn't have anything in my inventory, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Uh, let's see. There is Den of Wolves, which is a payday GTFO style game.
That they talked about the masks a lot for, and it's like, yeah, okay, can you tell us something that is actually about the game? Cool.
Yeah.
Railborn looked really good. Railborn is the other train game, but it's a survival game where you're on a alien planet, and you're using the train as your mode of transportation, but also as your main base. And then you move from point A to point B, and you gather your stuff outside of the train and bring it in and build the train up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which think is a
like that
neat
concept. I like that concept a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a cool concept. It's also cooperative, which is good.
There's a zombie game like that actually out where you drive it around the city, like you drive it around the land, and you can stop it in each of these parts of the cities, and you can loot there, and there are zombies, and you've got to clear off the railroads and things like that. So it's neat to see. Like I guess trains are making a comeback. Woohoo. I like trains. Trains are fun.
Voyagers of Nera, which is another survival style game.
Everybody's tried that but me. I was doing something else when my group tried it.
I really liked it. I think it needs some work. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, 100%. But as a base concept,
oh yeah, fantastic.
It's good. It's good. It's really
with that
good.
one. You have it reminds me a lot of Enshrouded, in the fact of like kind of how your base is built. You have one little thing that you have to build up continually.
It gives me Pal World vibes
It's
from
kind
like
of a
your
mixture
little,
of both.
yeah, like your spirit that you have to do, and you got to rescue all the little spirits, and they come and live at your home, and you have to build these little amenities for them to kind of boost your safe zone. So it's neat. And I like the building too. It's like grounded style building, which I think is the thing these days. You put up the outline, people can put stuff in to build it up.
Yeah, I like the communal part of that. The only problem we had with it is the stuff didn't respawn quick enough. And we were sitting there thinking the whole time, if there were 10 people on this server, which is the max you can have on the server, it would take forever. Everybody would have to go like, okay, let me put this down. Everybody help. Or I'm building a building. Let me put this on. And but the game is like, you need to build this in order to be able to get to the next section. You as an individual need to build. If you're playing as a group and we're playing as a party, it should all count across the group. That was one of the things
I think it's just to kind of teach everybody how to build it. Which I mean, we didn't have a problem. Like, it was respawning so fast. I think it was every morning, everything would respawn. We clear out one area.
We did it the day the game was announced, or the day after. No, it was the same day. It was last Sunday. So it was the same day it was announced. So it might have been where they patched that.
Maybe they
did
did
it Tuesday.
Yeah. Baka and Red were having connection problems with that one, though.
Their game just kept crashing. Boom. Boom.
Mine crashed a couple times on me.
They would just
but as soon as you went back into the game, like I was the one that was in charge of the server. As soon as we went back into the game, it was literally where it crashed.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well that's cool. So it does a save and quit, basically.
The ship mechanics are pretty good. It's like Pal World plus Atlas with a little bit of Enshrouded. It's got these different things where it's pulled inspiration from, and for a starting point, it's pretty good. Because I was like, oh, are we gonna have to wait a while before we get out? No, getting the boat is like a critical piece of infrastructure right out of the gate. It's a main gameplay loop. The boat, like the ocean travel, is important, very important. They do not make you wait. It's right out of the gate. Food and water is not important either. You don't have to eat and drink.
It's a buff.
Yes, it's like Valheim style where you eat, you get a health bonus. You can still cook and things like that, but it's not imperative to survival, which I think they may
Well-
change later.
Yes, some of that changes.
Well, no, I'm
It
talking
cha-
about through development. They're probably going to make a wall.
Well, no, I mean when you get
Change
to a
the
certain
horsepower.
level, some of that changes too. Like because when you first start, you can eat all you want to, and it doesn't change anything. The buff doesn't happen until you reach to a certain level either.
Really, you got to cook it to get your buff.
Well, I know. I'm just telling you. I can eat. I can eat all. If you first start out the game and you cook it, it doesn't. It doesn't really count towards it. Like your food meter doesn't go up at all. It will later on though. Like we were a good portion through the game before ours went up.
Really, I ate right out of the gate and mine went up. Again, you
Mhm.
might have played an early version and we got a cash one
Mhm.
because I was eating like 3 or 4 of them, and then you just see your little stomach icon start filling up.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't do it when you first started for us.
Oh, it did it for me. It did it for them too. So,
Mhm.
There was
but
one
yeah,
called
that was.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm Not Human. It seems like Papers, Please, except for spooky. Because everything, the people might not really be people that you're trying to let into your home, your little safe zone, I guess, and you don't want to let in things that are not human because then
No,
they'll
I am
murder
not
you. So that's an interesting, creepy one for real.
human. The altars. That's the one. That
Yeah,
one's
that's the
pretty
one
neat.
that I think is neat. Pizza Bandit got another trailer, which I have downloaded the demo, but I haven't played it yet.
I played the demo. It's an interesting concept because with it is basically it's a horde shooter for certain parts of it, and then other parts of it it'll go, oh, you need to make these pizzas to send them to other crews that are out there. So you're trying to figure out how to create pizzas while hordes of enemies are coming in at the same time, which is why it's
Yeah.
important to play as a group and not a single person on that one. It was fun. But the other thing is too, it's open, so other people can come in. I didn't. I needed to go back through it and see if there's a way to make it private, but it was open for me. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if there's a way to. I don't want other
Mhm.
people, other pizza bandits, to be joining mine. Thank you very much.
but
Paralyzed.
it was a
Path-
funny concept.
Pathfinder Abomination Vaults looks pretty good for a hack and slash gauntlet style game.
Gauntlet.
Mhm.
Paralyzed looks cute. It's the newest version of a Sims game, and it's coming out December 8th. I liked some of the ways that you can change the couches. You can shrink and make bigger, and windows and stuff like that. That's nice. You can actually make your furniture fit your room instead of being like, I have to use this couch every time because it's the only one that's got 3 spaces. Thanks. I don't know. A lot of this other stuff was not necessarily my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Ultra Kill. I think I've seen this one before. Yeah, I've seen Ultra Kill before. It's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
No More Room in Hell 2, the 1.0 trailer. It's some folks aren't too happy with where they've gone with it, but I mean, it's again the original came out in 2012. Here we are 13 years later. Things are bound to change.
13 years.
We'll
it hurts
see.
me.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, but I'm interested in that one. That one, folks, is like an 8-player version of like Killing Floor or a zombie survival game.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those games that we on a Friday night we could all work together and play a zombie horde game.
Which game is that again?
No More Room in Hell 2.
I know where. Okay. Because they have the FBC Firebreak, but that one's player. That's just set in the world of Control and Alan Wake, first-person shooter. They're trying to expand that universe a little bit, which I love when developers go outside of like the games they've created or whatever, but can still keep things in the world and are like, okay, maybe this isn't your style of game, but maybe this one is. You know, I think that's cool. As long as it's done well. It's not cool if they just do it to do it.
Do it to do it.
Do it to do it.
There was Dead Reset, which was kind of interesting, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's the one that has like actual live action video bits to it, and there's a time loop mechanic thing. It's coming out this year, or it's supposed to, so I guess I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't know how I feel about the live action bits, to be honest.
interesting idea. Always interested to see what they decide to do with that kind of.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I wonder if it's on. I wonder if I can put it on Steam. Yeah, there it is. I can
There was
watch
such
this
some
up.
odd games on this one. So it's
Oh,
like you go
that's-
through, and I was like, I don't know if I remember though. Oh, I remember this one. So it was basically the Timberborn game, but with mice, and it's called Whiskerwood.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And they have like ships and stuff too, but the concept's very similar. You're creating essentially a assembly line of some sort
Mhm.
to get them working. It's pretty neat. Is this Outbound the game that? Yes, Outbound is a game that I've been watching for a little while. They had a trailer on here too, and essentially, you're in a van, and your van is your main base, and you can continue to like you hit a button basically in your van, and that expands out your whole main base for you to stay in or whatever.
Yeah.
But you go out into the woods and live or whatever. I just thought it was such a cool, it just seems calming. Like the way that the game is done, just like not a whole lot of massive plot to it or anything.
One of the last ones they showed was Cappy Castaway. That seems like an oat game.
Hmm.
The one with the capybara and the cute art style. It just seems like one that you would play.
Capybaras are super adorable.
They are.
Agreed.
But
I guess that
I think
was,
that's
like,
it. That's it.
yeah.
That's it from my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the high points for me. A lot of it did get samey. But there was, I think some of it's just the amount of stuff at that show, because it was a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of early access stuff and release trailers, things like that. It's a lot of these smaller companies trying to get their game names out, which is fine. I mean, it's what happens. And some of them definitely were like, I see you over there. I'll add you to the wish list. Wish lists.
The Dark Tide is getting Judge Dredd.
Oh, yes.
The RBDs.
You get a dog companion.
Basically, what they that's basically what they are though. Even in the lore, they're essentially the equivalent of cops.
Interesting.
Nice.
Is anything else?
Mm-mm.
No.
Think so.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Okay.
everybody will be happy to know it actually recorded this whole thing. So we actually have
Oh,
a show this week.
Let's go.
Oh, you love to see it.
A whole show. You love to hear it.
Well, or see it. If you're watching it on YouTube, you see it. If you're listening to it on one of the various audio platforms, then you're hearing it.
That is fair.
Fair enough.
Definitely fair. Hold on. Let me move these over, otherwise I'll forget.
He's forgotten things already. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
You gonna do
Don't be
the?
judgy. Don't be judgy.
You gonna do the outro?
I am. But
Forgot that
I had
part.
to
We're
move the
just-
links over. I will forget the links if I don't put them. Talking. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with. Make sure that hit the little sub button as well as the little bell on there as well. So that way you know when one of these goes live. For If It Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
Griff.
I'm chicken.
Bucket.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.